Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today is Tuesday, August the 1st, and that means it's budget day. And so I am ready to go over with you my August budget because I get paid once a month. If you're new to my channel, I am a state employee. I am a teacher, and we are on vacation for June and July. So I actually technically do not gain a paycheck, but I have what is called a summer share account where I have my employer work with my bank, and they pull out X amount of dollars every month for 10 months. And then whatever that amount is, they split it in half for 2 months, which is June and July. So I'm doing my August budget, which is going to be what my July summer share amount will be to cover for the month of August. And then I will get a paycheck, a full paycheck in the month of August 31st, or the last working day of August. So for June and July, I'm working on what I call my summer cash budget, or my summer share budget, because I technically do not gain a paycheck. So with that being said, I have a couple things that I always have with me before I do my budget, and then we'll get right into the budget. This should not be a long video, I promise. I have my handy dandy cash envelope wallet that I use. This is not a Savvy Sense. It's not it's not anything that anybody's selling. I just bought this at Walmart. The last one that I had used it so long that it was tearing on the inside. I think I used it for about 2 or 3 years. It was really good for me. But I just got this new wallet, and I'm excited to use this. So inside, I have just all of my, personal cards and different things just over here. And then I have all of my rewards cards for my stores that I shop at. So that part is not important because none of my cash goes there. The part that is important is what's in the back, or the zipper part, is where I keep all of my little cash tabs. And I made these, oh gosh, it's been maybe over a year ago. And most of the cash tabs, let's see, that one is groceries. Then I have blow money. And so I just have the ones in here that I use more often than not. And some of these I probably am going to take out because I haven't used them in a while. So this I have my wallet. That's one thing that I need. The next thing that I have is my recollections planner. And thank you again to my lovely subscriber that sent me this in the mail. I started using this last month as far as doing everyday tracking of what I was spending per day, not just necessarily tracking it in my checkbook or on my cash envelopes, because I use mainly cash, but I'm using the calendar part to actually track what I'm spending per day. I'm actually tracking a couple things. I'm tracking my weight. I'm tracking any appointments that I have, but I'm using the daily sheets. And I'll take this one out so you can see. This one is August 2017, the first week. So July 31st, which was Monday, and then this goes all the way until July the 6th, which is on the other sheet. So what I'm going to be doing is tracking what I spent every day on each of these lines, because it's a little larger than the monthly spread. And my goal for this month is I have a goal for this week. I'm doing a weekly goal. Sometimes the month is a little bit more. But I want to make cash purchases for anything that I am buying and not use my debit card for anything. And then I also want to account for all the money that I spend. Every penny I want to account for it, because my July budget is so much different than my normal budget throughout the year, August through May, because I gain a full paycheck. So I have to account for every dime because it is very tight for us this month, or the summer is pretty tight. So that's what I have in my recollections planner, as well as I have all of my cash envelopes that I'm using, and I got these from Mom Needs a Clone on Etsy. She has an Etsy shop. She also has Instagram. So Mom Needs a Clone, and I have all of my envelopes here. So I have them marked on the back, like this is for lawn care, and then I have groceries week 1, and then week 4, week 3, week 2, and then Gracie has her own little envelope. And then if I needed to have any extra envelopes, I've got a couple extra. I've got like 2 extra ones back here that I can use. So that's another thing that I need. I'm also going to have my handy dandy pencil. And then I went to the bank yesterday and got out cash. So here's the cash that I'm going to be stuffing into my envelopes. So with that being said, I'm going to turn my camera around and let you see my budget sheet. And that's only because I'm out of ink, so I couldn't print it out, and ink was not in the budget this month for the printer. So I'm going to show you my computer and what my budget looks like on the computer. Okay, so here's my budget sheet, and I realize, or I recognize now, that it is backwards, so I do apologize ahead of time, but it's the same sheet that I use every month. Nothing has changed. I did want to show you my monthly budgeted categories. I'm following the Dave Ramsey zero-based budget plan, and so a friend of mine years and years ago made up this spreadsheet, and this is how it looks based off Dave Ramsey. So I have charitable gifts, which Dave says should be between 10 and 15% of your income. I have savings, which should be 5 to 10%. I have housing, which should be 25 to 35%. I have utilities, which should be 5 to 10%. Food should be 5 to 15%. Transportation should be 10 to 15%, clothing 2 to 7%, medical 5 to 10%, personal 5 to 10%, recreation 5 to 10%, then debt is 5 to 10% of my income. Well, that's what it should be. So here is my total income for the month. And actually, let me change that because that is not right. So my summer share deposit is $19.65, so $1,965. That's all I make. That's all I'm getting shared over for the month of July. And so what I do is I put in my category here, and then I work my way up. And so I am accounting for every single dollar that I have in this $19.65. Now, if I look at my end result here, let's see if I can. If I look at the end result here, and where you see it in the parentheses blue, that means I'm $26.36 over on my budget somewhere. So I have to allocate, or I have to account for $26.36, which I do not have at the moment. And I'm going to show you how I make do with that. Now, for charitable contributions, I tithe and I do offering, but I don't do tithe in the summer because I'm what's considered a 10-month employee. So I tithe off of 10 months. I tithe in 10 months what I should tithe in 12. So I give tithe 10 months of the year off of my gross pay, what I make, not what I bring home. So for the month of July, there's no tithe, and I have not put any offering in because there just was no offering to put in, and we just got the month of August just happened. So for the month of August, because I'm going into August, so I plan the last day of the previous month for the next month. So nothing for tithe and offering because I gave that during the year. Anything I give now is considered offering because I've already given tithe. Unless it's any type of income or anything that comes in between now and the end of August. And some people ask me, well, where do you put your YouTube money? And I told them, I said, you have to, I guess YouTube has these strange algorithms to determine how you make money. And if there is no money to be made, then you can't account for it. And so at this point, there's no YouTube money being accounted for. So, and I'm okay with that. We partner with Damon Thompson Ministries, and we give $30 a month to that. For my savings, I have not allocated anything for emergency fund or house savings or my Facebook savings plan. And the reason why is because my emergency fund is already fully funded. So I didn't put anything aside for emergency fund because I do have $1,000 in my emergency fund. Most people ask me, how do I get that? Well, as a general rule, I try to put a little bit in if I can throughout the 10 months. But if not, and if I get any tax return money back, then that's how I put money in there. Sometimes we get our bonus and our supplement, and I'll chunk money in there from that as well. Housing, which is accounting for 25 to 35% of my income. So my mortgage is $874.02. And normally I've been trying to pay $900 or a little bit above the normal, just to a principal payment. I don't have any extra this month, so I'm just going to do my regular payment of $874.02. I'm not paying anything to Homeowners Association this month. I do still owe $90 for the year, but I have until December 31st to pay that for the remainder of the year. Prayerfully, I will get it paid within the next month or so. For lawn care, my lawn guy comes twice a month, and some people have said, well, you can cut your own grass. Very true, but I've never been trained on how to do that, and I just generally don't want to do it. And my young son is too young. He's only 8, and my other son does not live here. So he comes home sometimes, but not always. So the little neighbor boy across the street does a really good job. He was just trying to earn some money. He's actually going off to college in this August. So it was just a good summer job for him, and he's actually given that responsibility over to another one of his little high school friends that will just come over twice a month. I pay $25 and they cut my grass, and they also do the edging. I have insurance for my iPhone. I've always had insurance for my iPhone. I don't know why I still have insurance for my iPhone, but I've just always had it, and so I just don't even think about it. It's just there. Utilities. Can we talk a little bit about utilities this month? Because it really is rocking my world, and I'm not sure why. Utilities were a little bit, last month I think my utilities was like between $65 and $75. The month of July was rough on, it was just hot. So my utility bill has almost doubled in a month. So I'm at $137.60. Normally I run between $65 and $75 a month all year long, with the exception of summer months. My cell phone bill is $106. My cable bill was $78.15. My water bill was up a little bit. Last month I think it was like $65, $67, somewhere in there. So it's $73. Now, for groceries, I have been trying to do $200 a month. Right now I'm doing $180, and I'll tell you why I'm not doing $200. I like to thrift. I'm a Goodwill girl. And if I'm unable to go to the Goodwill, I will just take money from somewhere to Goodwill. That's just the truth. That's just how it is. I love to find a deal wherever I can find one. I try not to go in Goodwill, just specifically when I don't have money. So what I did was, partly because I am now shopping at Aldi, and because of coupons, I can actually squeeze my budget into the $45 range. And so what I did was, I just took $20 out of my grocery budget. And I know that might not, again, I would have taken it from somewhere anyway. So I took $20 out of my grocery budget, which put me at $180. And I'm going to chunk that into my Goodwill budget, because I like to thrift. I love to find a good deal. And there's another store in the town. Sometimes they have like weekend sales with all of their clearance items will be $1. And if I can get 5 or 10 little items for $1 for me and my daughter, or my older daughter, who is also in teacher training school, I just like to be able to do that. And so I'm going to allocate for it. And then that way I'm not worried about where the money is going to come from. Where am I going to pull it? So I put $45 for 4 weeks, not realizing that there are actually 5 weeks in August. But the kids are out of town for 2 weeks. So I may be able to just get by on a few things that I have here next week and the week after, because they will not be back until 2 more weeks. So I'll see how it goes, because the last week of August is school week, back to school week. So I may be able to have a few more dollars. I'm going to try to eBay some things to make sure that we have what we need for lunches for the last week, because we're going back to school this month. So that's my grocery budget, is $180. Transportation, I do not have a car payment. My car is paid in full, and it has been for quite some time now. I got a used car, so it's not anything brand new. Gas, I have $24 for 5 weeks. I usually do $26, and that fills me up. I don't have any plans for going out of town, which actually that's not true. I just didn't think about it ahead of time. I have a family reunion, which is in South Carolina, where my father lives, but it's only an hour and a half from where I live, so it's not bad at all as far as gas is concerned. And normally, because my dad is just the way he is, if I come to something he has there, he will give me gas money to get home, or he'll just take me by the gas station and fill my car up for me. He's done that every time I've gone down there to visit with them. And so I don't expect that, but that's what traditionally he has done, just, because he wants me to come. And normally I will come anyway. I never ask him to do that, but he normally will do that for me. So I just appreciate that. I do need to get my oil changed again in the next week, because I have been to Maryland, North Carolina on the other side of the state, and I've been to Georgia and back since my last oil change, which was 2 weeks ago. And so I'm going to be close to my 3,000 miles, and I do like to keep my car upgrade, keep that oil change, because it's not a new car. I do like to keep that upgrade done on the car. So I'm going to need to do that within the next week. I did get my license and tax bill, but that's not due until the end of September. So I'm going to make a note that will have to come out of next month's budget, so that I am current and I'm not running behind. And it was like $47. So $47 plus my inspection is going to run me about $90 to get my new sticker. No car maintenance. When I took it in for oil change, they said my car was good. Clothing, this is where I put the $20, because I usually go to Goodwill or I thrift for our clothing things. So that's where I put, and I just put for mom, and that's because the kids, I just got them a couple new things. And if you watch my grocery budget, my grocery haul from yesterday, I put in there that I was blessed with a gift card to Walmart. And so I was able to get 3 shirts and a dress for myself. So I may not need to do any thrifting, but I just like to have it there, because the reality is I just want to be truthful and honest about what I'm doing here. And I do like to thrift. It is something that I enjoy doing. I wish I had some thrift buddies around here, but it's not an activity that a lot of my friends enjoy. So, I'm just going to do the best I can with what I just like to do it. So anyway, moving forward. For doctors, I do need to get medications. Jackson alone is on one medication that's like $30 with my insurance. And then I have 2, sister has 2, and Jackson has 2 additional. So between all of us, we have 7 medications, but their dad will send them money. And so I will just take their medication, paying for that out of that money, because we got 2 weeks at least on everybody's prescription, so we're going to be good. Just one of his medications is very expensive. Everything else is like $2, $3. So I'll probably put $50 there, but I'll wait until dad sends money before I allocate for that. My Healthways, which pays for my gym, is $25. That's an automatic debit. For Mama Grace, I put in $60 last month. I had $75, but I needed to make some adjustments somewhere. And so I had to do $60. She got a bath yesterday, which was $40.99. So we have just a little bit. We have $19.01 left for her for the month. I normally would get a supplement that I use for my digestion, but there's no money in the budget for that. This month it's like $50, I think, for a 3-month supply, but there's no money in the budget. So I'm going to have to just do some natural things to try to get some movement going here. Remember what I told you guys, if you've watched any of my last month's budget videos or my chat videos. Normally my taekwondo is $325, and that pays for 2 kids and myself, and we can go as many classes as they have every day that they have classes. So it's not just one day a week. We go 4 to 5 days a week. The kids go for 2 and 3 hours at a time. I can go for that long. But because the kids were going to be out with vacation with their dad's family for about 4 weeks, the master just said, hey, why don't you just pay me in September? And that saved me because it was $325. Saying that, I forgot the kids have to compete this month, and it's $50 a piece, so that's extra $100. But Dad will send money, so I will take out their taekwondo competition fees when Dad sends the money. And if, that'll be at the end of the month because it's not until the 26th, so we're good. My PureFlix, which is kind of like Netflix, but it's more Christian based, is $7.99. This is something that I don't normally have, which is my P.O. box. For a 6 month P.O. box is $32. I went ahead and just paid for that. And then I don't have to pay for it for the next 6 months. I think I'm going to just start with a sinking fund for the P.O. box, and that'll be like $5 a month for 6 months. So I'm not having to remember it in 6 months. So I think that's what I'm planning to do starting in August, is just go ahead and plan for the P.O. box. No gifts, no blow money this time, no recreation. But I was watching Mom Needs a Clone earlier on her vacation envelopes, and I think that I'm going to have to start doing some vacation stuff here. The ladies conference that I went to, I absolutely loved it, and I want to go again next year, but I want to stay on site. But the hotel is very expensive downtown Atlanta, so I'm going to have to save for that. And I'm probably going to have to use supplement money to save for it, or maybe even tax money to save for it. But I don't know. I'm just going to have to make sure I have food and gas. And then I like to shop at the vendors and buy t-shirts or books or anything like that. So, but I'm going to have to save for that. My student loan, I know that this balance is not correct. I need to change that. But it's $44.58, so I'm going to have to pay that. For some reason, I did not make this payment last month, and I don't know why I didn't make that. So it's $44.58. I usually try to pay a little bit over, but I'm not paying any over this month because there's just none there to pay over. So this next thing that you see on here was not on any of my other budgets except July of last year. I belong to a professional association. I'm actually the recording secretary, and we have dues that come due once a year. And so I'm a national member, and those dues are $160. I pay them every July. I don't pay them any other time of the year, and they were $160. So that's not a bill I normally have, but I've paid that, and it's all done. So not again until July of next year, and I may need to just save for that as well. But that is it for my total summer share deposit of $1965. And so again, that puts me over my budget about $26.36. I know Dad is going to send money. The kids are going to Disney, so I'm actually going to take the money he sends and deposit it into one of the aunt's accounts so the kids can have spending money and souvenir money at Disney. All of their admission fees and stuff like that will be paid by one of the relatives, but I did want to make sure that they had extra money, and since Dad is sending money, I will allocate for that. Alrighty, so here's what I'm going to do. I am going to get out my recollections planner, and I'm actually going to fill in the monies that I spent yesterday before I stuff my cash envelopes, because I want to make sure one of my goals this month is to make sure that I account for any money that I spent. So I took Grace to have a bath yesterday, and here's our receipt from that. And for her bath, it was $40.99. She got a regular bath, and she got her nails ground. So a friend of mine is going to teach me how to grind her nails using the Dremel tool, and she's going to let me use it. So once she teaches me how to ground Gracie's nails, I won't have to pay that $12 for her to get her nails done. I could actually take her to the vet and have her nails done. They're a little bit cheaper, but she doesn't enjoy riding in the car, so I'd rather just do it same place she gets the bath, and then we're not fighting about going, another place. So yesterday was Monday, and I'm going to say for Gracie, I spent $40.99. Okay, so I allocated for that. Let's see what other receipts I have in here. Okay, this is my, oh, that was my receipt for Mama. Let's see what else I got in here. Okay. Well. Okay, I went to Aldi. And I spent, see, I have 55, 59. So I spent $42.41 at Aldi, which for the week, this week, it gave me $2.59 left in my grocery budget for this week. And I still have to get some shampoo. I think I have to get shampoo. But I have some, but it's Head and Shoulders, and it actually makes my hair a little bit hard. I use a special kind, but it's $6, so that's not in the budget for this week. So $2.59 is left for this week's grocery budget. And then this is what's left of Gracie's money, which was the $19.01. So all in total, I spent for the day yesterday $83.40. So this is how I allocated for that. So I said Gracie was $40.99, Aldi was $42.41, and then $83.40. Now the reason I did not write in what I spent at Walmart is because that was a gift card. That was not something that I brought out of my paycheck or out of my summer share money. So I'm not allocating for that specific because that was a gift. So I am going to pull out my envelopes and I'm going to stuff these. And so I have, this is Gracie's envelope. This is Gracie's, and she has 1 penny and $19. Now, a couple things that I am going to have to buy for Grace, and I got to figure out where the money's coming from for this. She stayed with my daughter for 3 weeks, and I sent a bag of all the things I needed Grace to have. And all the things did not come back. So her harness did not come back, and pet carpet spray did not come back. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to buy a harness. At PetSmart, the harnesses are like $30, so I'm not going to do that. I may have to just go to Walmart, or I may go to, I think a friend of mine got her new leash from Home Goods. So I'm going to check TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, those kind of places to see if they have anything that's heavy duty but cheaper. And so I only have the $19, and then I do have to buy her some food. But we should be good on food for the next at least 2 weeks until I have a chance to do some eBay stuff. So hopefully I will get some. Tomorrow is eBay day, so I'm going to put some stuff that I have on eBay because I have to do the food, the harness, the pet carpet spray. And then this is also the month that I have to buy curriculum. So I have 2 curriculums to buy and 1 computer. So with what Dad sends, that will help. But I'm hoping it will take care of it. If not, that's why I have to gotta do some eBay stuff. So anyway, that was that. Here's the rest of grocery week 1. Aren't these envelopes? Mom needs a clone. Aren't they pretty? They are to me. I love them. And these fit into the Recollections planner. She actually punches the holes. They're laminated. They're very good quality. She punches the holes, and and they fit in the Recollections planner. She's been doing a prototype of some clear ones that I saw, and I love them. I thought, oh my goodness, I would love to have some of those. I don't have them yet because they're not in her Etsy shop, but she's working on it, and I'm excited. Okay. All right, so $45 for each grocery week for the next 3 weeks. So that's $20, $40, and $5. That's going to go in grocery envelope week 2. I just love these colors. I think they're so pretty. and then 45 for week 3. And then 45 for week 4. This is groceries week 4. And then 25 is for the long guy. For in 2 weeks, he'll come back in 2 weeks to do the lawn again. Him or his friend. He may be gone off to school by then, but his little friend will come over. And then the last $20 I have is going to be for my Goodwill. And I'm just having it there just in case. I may not Goodwill at all. I'm going to go through my clothing to see what I have for school, because I'm trying to do a little bit of a rebrand with my clothing and my makeup and hair. I'm just trying. I feel different at 41. So anyway, join me for my chat video. That'll be on the chat video. And so I just have one extra envelope. Now, I found some change in one of those other envelopes. So we are back to saving the change. I put a whole bunch of change in my bucket earlier. And so I'm not sure what I'm going to be saving that change for. Maybe vacation. We're talking about doing a family vacation this year with some other extended family, not just my kids. So maybe that would be for that. But I'm going to put this change into the bucket. Anywho, that is everything. Oh, you know what I didn't do? For my groceries week 1, with what's left, my $2 and some change, I normally put that in my wallet. So I'm going to do that now and just leave this envelope empty, because I may go back out to the store. Normally I don't take that other that recollections planner out of the house. It just sits in the safe, and then I just put any monies that I'm going to be using this week. So if I needed to take out Goodwill money, like I may need to put Goodwill money in here too. And I'm going to put that under blow money. Now that change was for the grocery store, so that's why I'm leaving it in there now. But if for some reason I don't use it, I will put it back into the bucket. Okay, so this is my $20 for Goodwill, and I'm just going to put that behind the tab that says blow money. And so now I'm stocked. I just have grocery money, and then I have my Goodwill money. All those other ones are just empty, and I'll probably pull some of those out as well. So that is it for our monthly budget. And after I use my groceries, I like to take the envelope for that current week and put it to the back. That way it recycles itself, and it ends up at the front for the next month. But I know what I'm working with for the next couple of weeks. So this does not leave the house. I usually keep this in the safe with all the extra money in there, and then whatever I'm going to be using for that week, I put in this wallet. And I got this from Walmart for $12, and this was with that gift card that somebody, that I got in the mail. So I just got this from Walmart, and $12. I think this is going to last me a long time. The other one was probably around $10 as well. It lasts me 3 years. So I'm not pressed to get a Savvy Sense or something else like that. This works for me just fine. And anyway, so that is our August budget, August 1st through the 30th. Thank you so much for stopping by our channel. If you like this video, be sure to give us a thumbs up. It just says, hey, we liked your video. If you're new around here, hit the red subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a part of our YouTube community. Also hit the bell. That way you never miss any of the fun and the excitement, because we're fun and we're exciting, just in case you didn't know. But we're excited to have you. We hope that something we shared will help you and your family with your budget goals and your debt-free journey. Thank you for joining us on ours. God is really doing things in our life, but He's also helping me to understand, Shakema, you want out of debt. I only have one debt. That's my student loan. You want out of debt. It's going to cost you something to get out of debt. It's going to cost me time. It's going to cost me writing everything down, accounting for every dollar, putting over monies that I can, just chunking away and kind of doing that debt snowball. And that's something I have to do. So I am in it to win it, writing everything down. That's my goal for the week. I'm going to try to do a weekly update on the budget just to let you know where we are moving forward. I know I've only done one monthly budget, but I'm going to try to do some updates as well. But thank you so much for stopping by our channel. As always, we speak blessings over you and your family. May the Lord's face shine upon you. And until the next time we budget, bye.